Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Small Business Big Stories podcast. On this episode, I get to chat with Andrew and Josh, the founders of Resilience Fitness. They take me through their come up story and they take me even further back to the start of their friendship. We talk about the ups and downs that they've gone through as primarily an in-person fitness business throughout this pandemic. What I love about these guys is that they are so open and willing to learn and adapt. I mean, personally, I started my business during the pandemic, but to think about a 6-year business that, again, was primarily in person and then to pivot and shift everything online, honestly, guys, this is a story worth listening to. So buckle up, grab a snack. Trust me, you're going to love this one. Hey, Josh and Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. So glad to have you guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
We are doing great, or I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing good too.
Awesome. Good. Well, I mean, the reason that we're on here tonight is so that you guys can tell your amazing story about your business, Resilience Fitness. And so sort of take the time, introduce yourselves, and tell us a little bit about your business. And a little bit of the come up story too, how you guys started. You guys are really great friends. So I think everyone would like to know how you guys made that work.
Wow. There's a lot to that story. So me and Andrew have known each other since grade 10. So we've known each other for a long time and seen us change and grow. But one thing that stayed common, we've always been very tight since we've known each other. We started Resilience 6 years ago.
Wow.
It's changed a lot since we started, and it's been like an incredible journey for both of us on our friendship, just the business expanding and growing and changing and going through COVID and going through ups and downs. And it's been amazing, fun ride. And we're excited to keep it going, even though things have changed a lot during COVID. We're super passionate about still continuing to grow Resilience and grow our community. And we're loving doing it, and we love doing it.
Good, that's awesome.
I want to touch on anything else, but it's been an incredible, fun journey for us, and it's definitely brought us closer together as friends as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you guys in action. I've taken many resilience classes, and the energy that vibrates throughout each session is incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. Initially, I was like, before going to Resilience, I was really apprehensive about group fitness. I was still at a stage where I was pretty uncomfortable about doing anything fitness related in front of anybody.
Yeah.
And when I started to come to Resilience classes is when I felt like I was really able to come out of my shell. You guys have just created this amazing, welcoming, comfortable space, judgment-free space where everybody is welcome, no matter what level you're entering at. And yeah, you guys have done an amazing job creating a community. Why did you guys, why fitness? Why start a fitness brand?
I can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I myself had just graduated Teachers College. I was working at a gym before I went to Teachers College. I was enjoying it. It actually helped me a lot, I think, with my people skills. Doing that job, I was like doing front desk work for a long time, but I was in this transition period where I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I ended up having to figure something out because I knew I couldn't do that for a long time. I wanted to do something else. So I went to Teachers College. I graduated Teachers College. And oh yeah, you're a teacher. I forgot.
Yeah.
And in that time after I graduated, it was tough to get a job. So I was really in this crossroads. What am I going to do? So I ended up getting a job at Ryerson, and just happened to be that Andrew was working down the street from me, and we would meet every day at lunch and talk about what we wanted to do. We weren't really happy with where we were at, but we really enjoyed fitness. And we started actually at Good Life, just doing group classes, but we ended up transitioning to getting a place at Monarch Park and renting a space for a couple days a week. And we didn't have an idea really, other than we just want to train people. So we didn't have oh, we're going to be a CrossFit gym. We're going to be like this. We're going to be like that. we just wanted to train people. So it just started with a couple classes, and it was a blessing, I think, because it started with friends and family at all
I
different
remember you
fitness
guys.
levels.
I remember you guys saying that. Like it was just friends and family, just starting like from the ground up.
We're begging our friends and family to come out and say, please support us. Just come out. We just need to get a couple people in here and like get it started. And it was a blessing because we had all different people come out, all different fitness levels. So we didn't have like an idea of exactly how we really wanted to train people, but I think it actually worked in our advantage because it allowed us to like cater to different fitness levels right off the bat.
Yeah.
And since then we've like branded classes and grown a lot because we were just doing like one kind of class. And we've changed a lot, but I think what one of our strengths is as a community and as Resilience is we're really welcoming, and we've created this community that's super welcoming. It's a very challenging workout no matter where you're at in your fitness level, but we really try to make people feel welcome when they come in the doors and feel comfortable working out, because we know that's a huge thing for some people, working out in front of people, especially someone that's new to group fitness. It can be intimidating. So we try our best to minimize that. And we love doing that.
For sure. And Andrew, you came from a football background, so you brought a lot of athleticism into the dynamic. Was athletics always a part of your life?
Yes. So growing up, ever since I can remember, I was playing sports, even going back to like 3 or 4 years old, t-ball. So it has always been a pillar in my life. In fact, it's the way that I made friends. It's the way that I learned to communicate literally, not in school, but on the field. So literally how to be on a team, how to talk to people, how to face conflict. And that's really where I met most of my friends. So yeah, it's always been a big part of my life. And I think just to add on to what Josh said, when we did start, we did want to train people, but we wanted to start a community. We wanted to start a place where people could come and train, but to really build a community. And that's such a loose word nowadays. It's like, well, yeah, community, but like we really wanted a place. You kind of alluded to it, Brittany, that it's a judgment-free place where people can come and just like, I don't know what I'm about to do, but like I feel something here. I feel welcome here. And that's community, So that was at the beginning, like at the very beginning. And that's still like the pillar of resilience today.
Absolutely. And I know with a lot of businesses, I mean, you guys are like 6 years in. Were you ever at a point where you're just like, I don't know if this is going to work? Or do you guys like still get the imposter syndrome feeling where you're just like, what are we doing? I don't know if this is the right move, even after 6 years.
So in short, absolutely.
Yeah.
And long, I think that no matter who you are, when you start something as an entrepreneur, it's bound to be there. That doubt and that fear is on the other side of accomplishing something in freedom and just enjoying what you do. So you have to make that decision. So yes, we're still faced with that even today. There's days and moments, which is great to be in a partnerships because we can really encourage each other. When one's down, the other's up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entrepreneurial life. Like that's, you constantly are evolving and creating. And one day is better than the other. And then you just got to stay even keel. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you guys have brought so much to your business. Like it's not just fitness, but I remember being involved in, some nutrition seminars that you guys have done. And you guys have taken like some big trips. So how has that, like, do you feel like that is really what has brought this community in, is just providing a multi-layered service, not just about fitness, but about all the other elements that you have incorporated to create your community?
Man, this is like the most exciting topic for us to probably discuss in the world when it comes to resilience. So Josh, you go ahead, Josh.
I'll let you talk about the trips and all that, because that was Andrew's brainchild. I was a little reluctant at first at some of those things, and I'll admit it.
Yeah.
And he came to me with some of these ideas, and I was like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Like, you want to take these guys to California? Like, what do you...
Like, how are we going to afford that?
How are we going to do this? But yeah, sometimes, through talks and stuff, I think it's great about our relationship is that we can talk things through, and, we usually come to some sort of compromise. But yeah, back to your question. Yeah, I think we've always had a vision of doing something more than fitness. So we're always trying to evolve that through trips, through seminars, through nights out, community nights. Right now, we really want to get back because we really want to start a sports league and stuff like that. Because we feel that like some of these things are what help cater relationships and stuff like that. So, you know, you can get to know someone in the gym, and it's great to get to know someone through working out. But we've always tried to like kind of push that envelope and think about different things we can do to expand people's friendships and their relationships with each other. So that's always been like a big like thing on our mind ever since we started, is like, how can we do some other things to get people more involved and get the community like tighter knit. So yeah, maybe Andrew wants to talk about the trips and stuff like that, because that was his brainchild there.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Andrew.
I think just everything that resilience is not only in the gym, but it's outside the four walls, you know. And I think a lot of gyms, you know, make it about the workout, and that's cool, but we wanted to always make it, Josh said it, more than fitness. So it like a workout is a place and a way for people to meet, but then let's take it the next level and get outside the four walls. And that has always been the heartbeat of resilience. That has always been like, how do you foster relationships? How do you get people together, like 35 people on a plane and fly across North America to the West Coast, down south to California, on the very tip, right above Tijuana and San Diego. And how do you do that though? The willingness of 35 people to jump on a plane only comes from the trust and the relationships that have been built. So no fitness workout is going to get them on the plane. It's actually just the connection, the relationship. I want to go away with these 4 days with these people because I want to like just grow in relationship with these people. So it really is about that. It's outside the four walls.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that one-on-one interaction and that group interaction that you guys have consistently just really made an integral part of your business was a reason why I came almost each and every day, just to get a little bit, like a little piece of that and start my day off with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since the pandemic has started, things have sort of changed a little bit. So you guys have really based a lot of your business on, you know, in-person group workouts, your trips, seminars. Now I want to get into the pivot, how you guys pivoted your business after 6 years of being in business, doing everything in person. How did you feel and how did you go about transitioning into an online space?
Yeah, I think it was something that we needed to do right away to keep momentum like going in the community and keep people active, right?
Yeah.
So we couldn't work out. We knew that we had to do something, obviously. So we started off very we didn't know what we were doing, but like we've really been committed and invested in like trying to learn how to make that space better and better. And it's been a long learning curve, but we're really we really feel like online fitness is something that's like valuable for our clients, something that like even when we go back in person, I think it's a huge value add for people that are busy, people that maybe want to come in person, and maybe online's like they prefer in person, but just having that busy person that may be only able to get outside of their house maybe twice a week or something, but they still want to get 4 workouts in. So we really made it a staple in what we're doing, and we like kind of doubled down on it and really invested in it, time and money into like making it the best we can. And fortunately, like we've been blessed to have a lot of people around us that are helping us like continue to build the program. Shout outs to Emmanuel.
Nice.
He's definitely helping us with some production stuff, and we have a lot of coaches that help, which has been awesome. So yeah, it's just been a learning process and a growing process. It's been a tough process sometimes because it's been like a lot of learning and a lot of like just pivoting and, you know, a lot of new things for us, but it's been exciting too. So it's been good.
Yeah. Like the quality of your guys' stuff. I mean, you're consistently like an ace team. You guys always come with, you know, you're just always on, and you're always coming with like the greatest and the most efforts. And I found with your videos, they are so high quality, so professional. The names of your workouts, like I know, Andrew, you have a lot to do with that. Like, how do you even come up with the names of these workouts?
I don't know. That's a great question. No, trying to match sort of the feeling that maybe a person is experiencing into a word to express that. And we decided to make it one word, if we could, to really describe what is a person going to feel and experience. Because, you know, a group workout is so correlated to not only the physical, but that mental and that spiritual connection. So how is someone going to feel in that space? And let's stamp it with a word. So a lot of going through words that are like, no, that's crap. That's crap. That's crap. Or like, Josh, I got it. And then it's like this. And he's like, or like Josh comes in, he's like, how about this one? I'm like, throw it in the garbage. That's like, we're not doing that. So a lot of brainstorming, tons of like leaving the ego at the door. Like, you can't really build it unless if the ego is just totally out of it, and just be willing to fail and name some things and people will be like, what? But that's kind of, we want to match the experience to a word.
And just like also listening to clients, listening to our team too. Like even recently, like our production guy Emmanuel helped us like build a whole new kind of way of seeing our online workouts, and we've like even adapted it in the last couple of weeks. So just continuing, like knowing that, you know, sometimes we don't have the greatest ideas, and our team around us, there's people around us that can help. So being open to listen and hear from our clients is huge too. So yeah, just our team has helped a lot, and being open to listen. We even got another coach that just starting a baby fit program, and just like listening to your team's ideas and stuff. Yeah. I would have never thought of that. I'm not thinking about babies right now, and Andrew's got
another on the way.
He's worried about babies, but probably his own. So yeah, it's the team around you as well. So
absolutely. Yeah. Like two brains are always better than one. And if you can multiply that, then the ideas just come and fly into existence. But that's something else that I wanted to touch upon too. You know, working in a team, you guys started off as a team, and now you've expanded the team into more instructors and a production staff. So how was it for you guys in the beginning to now, in terms of the way you guys work together, the way you work with Josh, Andrew, and vice versa?
Yeah, you have to go sort of outside the business and really see the evolution of just like us growing as people.
Yeah.
And just growing, you know, we're both guys that really value our faith, and just growing in that and really learning how to listen more and speak less, which is something that has been such a journey for me. And I have not even close to perfected it, but just listening more, going through a lot of moments that, hey, let's reflect and see, you know, a year later, oh man, I would have handled that so differently. And just having the grace for each other to like, hey man, it's all good. Like, at least you're seeing it, you know, at least you're seeing it. Now let's, you know, there's a lot of forgiveness that has been experienced by one another. So there's a lot of forgiveness between Josh and I, because you need forgiveness.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that, you know, you act out and you do, and you're like, man, I'm really sorry for that. If you have that relationship. So the evolution of that really, from day one to today, is changed because of we were changing as people, I think, to answer your question.
Yeah.
And we've gone from, you know, that team when we first started to a team of, I think, 10 coaches or 9 coaches, a production team.
Incredible.
It was amazing. So the one thing I would say is to grow that is to hear them out, to listen to their ideas. And you're not going to implement everything because you can't. But to say, man, that's a good idea, or where'd you come up with that? Let's evolve it. It always has to sort of fit in this, which is resilience. So if they feel valued, because we do value them, they're always going to come up with great ideas. And like you said, Brittany, 2, 6, 8 brains are better than one. So it's just been a process of learning how to listen and collaborate.
Exactly. And that's such a great sign of growth and understanding between the two of you. You mentioned something that I think is so important, and a lot of people, I think most people, this is just an ongoing process of actually listening to someone, actually listening in to hear what they have to say without you already having a response in mind.
That is hard.
Yeah, it's really hard because especially like Andrew, I definitely see you as like, you know, yeah, let's try this, let's do this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Josh, you seem like, well, let's just think about that for a second. Let's take a hot second. Think about how we can process that.
Bullseye.
But I think that's a great dynamic, right? You guys have a great balance. And like I said, having understanding and understanding the fact that you guys have both been through a growth spurt, I would say, you know, comparing yourselves to when you first started the business versus now, and just being so open to that, I think what makes great leaders and great business owners. Yeah. Understanding that, like, that, you know, you grow as a person, things change. Sure, you could have done something better a year ago, but you weren't the same person a year ago.
Exactly. Right on. Bullseye.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Yep.
So question for you guys. Was there ever a point when you guys started, I know the pandemic, I feel like has been going on for, I don't even know, what year are we in? But you guys started about a year ago going online. Were you ever afraid or apprehensive, or had a teammate that was super apprehensive to get in front of the camera because it was so different than actually teaching to a class?
Oh yeah, for sure. Totally. It's a different dynamic. Coaching in person to coaching online is like, it's like A and B. They're not from the same pot.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing. You kind of have to pivot, but the train's going. So like, if you don't adapt and jump on the train, you're going to be left behind. So you actually have to jump in front of the camera. For the most part, it's been Josh and I leading the most classes, I'd say. Right. So like, we just have been saying yes since day one. I will say but like when we first pivoted, this was probably the first month or two of the pandemic. Josh was like, I really think we should build like an online program. And for me, I was like, nah, man, like this is just a Band-Aid. We'll be back. And he's like, I think we should do this. And I'm like, cool. Again, the Andrew like in 2020 was more open to hearing, but the Andrew of 2015, you can ask Josh, would be like, forget that. Like, let's go clean our equipment. We're coming back next week. So, there's definitely like a little bit of a hump there that we had to get over.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster ride because we really didn't know how long this pandemic and this lockdown was going to go on for.
Right.
And it was, like you said, like a roller coaster. First, it was like, okay, now we're in lockdown, or now we've capped the number of people. Now we're fully shutting down gyms. Now you can open up, but just outdoors. Like, it was just so up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
How did you guys deal with that?
Yeah, I guess the pivoting was a challenge because it's been changing for a long time. That's been pretty challenging.
Yes.
I guess just like Andrew touched on earlier, I think a lot of times it's a blessing to be in a partnership because, you know, when one person's up, the other person's usually, or when one person's down, not that there's always one person down. When one person's down, the other person usually is there to cheer the other person up.
Right.
So there's been a lot of times, you know, like we've gone through a lot of pivots and a lot of like, I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, I heard another fitness business. It was like right at the beginning, was preparing for being out for 3 months. And I was like, 3 months? Are you kidding me? Like, what the hell? 3 months?
That's telling me like we're closing
and
forever.
Now it's been like a year and a bit. And if I knew that it was going to be a year and a bit back then, I don't know what I would have been doing. But
yeah,
I think it's good to have like people around you that business partners, your partner in life, your friends, your family. Hopefully there are people there to encourage you when you're feeling stressed, because there are ups and downs, and like any entrepreneur, they deal with that. So the pivots have been challenging. Sometimes it's been like stressful, right? But having people around you to encourage you and just continuing to believe in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets you through, I think.
And yet you brought up a really interesting point with, you know, having family or a support system around you. Were you getting, you know, from sort of outside perspectives, whether it be your family or your friends at the beginning, saying like, you know, I don't know, guys, maybe you want to consider like I didn't even have to finish the question.
Oh yeah.
So you had like, you know, maybe you guys want to consider option B.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we know how fickle the fitness business is in general. Add a pandemic to that, and you got yourself a whole other recipe. So how did you guys deal with some of the hesitations or the advice that you were getting from family and friends?
Oh man. Phew. Actually, that's a loaded question, because that's ever present. That's always there.
Yes.
Opinions from the outside, always going to be there. They're always going to be there, and you have to really tune in to like the original vision.
Mhm.
You have to check with yourself. You have to check. I keep going back to faith. You have to look and like literally pray, and like that's it. That's that lane right there. The outside voices, you can value them. You can even have them have a place at your table, because I think getting advice is great. It's wise to get advice. However, at the end of the day, you got to be on the same page with your business partner. Hey, you want to keep going? You want to keep going? Cool. Well, let's buckle down and get to the drawing board. Go back. What did we originally want to accomplish? Now, how can we accomplish it in a different way?
Yeah.
Block out the noise, because we're living in a very loud world.
So
Very
true.
loud. We're living in a lot of noise right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opinions, and there's a lot of different sides and stuff. So we have to like come back to that original vision, pray into it, like walk forward in faith and just believe. Like otherwise you're dead in the water.
I totally agree with you. And speaking to, the soon to be entrepreneurs or people who are already, starting their businesses, who are listening to this podcast, I think that's a huge factor in entering the world of entrepreneurship, is reducing the amount of noise around you, because there are always going to be people around you saying, you sure about that? Like, is that the practical route? Is that going to get you, that stability that we're all supposed to be thriving for? And yeah, I totally understand when you say, there's a vision, and you put your faith really at the center of it all, along with your business partner. And you just said, hey, like, I want to do this. He wants to do this. Josh wants to do this too. So let's just keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. And you know what? On that point, Brittany, like, I feel for entrepreneurs starting now, because no matter what business you start, 99% of them are going to be immersed in this like social media like world, because a lot of your business, your leads, kind of your connections, it's just the world we're living in now, right? So
Absolutely.
On social media, the opinions and the this are so heavily present, but you kind of have to be in there too, because that's how you're going to grow your business.
Yes.
It's
like a catch-22.
It's a catch-22. So you got to be like, you got to put the armor on and be ready, because it's not a battlefield you can come into unprepared. You got to be like, I know I'm stepping onto this battlefield, and there's going to be a lot of voices. So like, let me put my helmet on. Let me put my breastplate on. Like, I'm going into this. I'm ready to block out the arrows, but I have to be in this space too. It's like it's a weird thing for sure.
It is. And you kind of triggered a question I had. So when you guys started 6 years ago, social media wasn't what it is today. So how did you guys, was it more word of mouth that got the name Resilience around the community?
For sure.
I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of it was word of mouth. We did do a lot of social media stuff, but I think most of our referrals, even like a lot of our long-term clients, have come through like word of mouth, definitely, which still happens today, actually, even though
there's like
still such a big is a bigger thing today than it was maybe 6 years ago. Word of mouth still is like the most powerful thing there is.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I was talking about it on another episode, where I think word of mouth will never die. Like, if someone can go to another person and say, hey, listen, I experienced this incredible service, feeling that person's energy and their feeling behind that, like, there's nothing, it's unmatched. It goes unmatched to any piece of social media, I think, that you can post.
Yeah.
And yeah, I stand by that through and through. So you guys I've seen you guys post a lot on Instagram. Are you guys taking advantage of any of the other social media platforms?
Yeah, so Instagram's kind of our main sort of, we've decided and gone all in, like all just like go all in, even just energy, time, money is on Instagram. And then we also have another platform, our Facebook private group, which is like taking the concept of community and building on it on a social media platform. We're not very active. We're irrelevant on Twitter. We're not very active on Facebook. It's a lot of double posting from Instagram. But Instagram right now, for just the demographic we're going for, and just like, we started with that, and it's kind of been the way we also communicate with our clients. So there's a plethora of reasons why we are there, but it's mainly Instagram.
Yeah. And again, you bring up a really good point. Sometimes, or actually a lot of times, when we keep getting thrown these like different social media platforms, it's like, okay, now I have to like figure out each and every one of them. And if I don't, then my business isn't going to do that well. But you brought up such a good point. Like you put all in on Instagram, and you just thrive on Instagram, and that's where your demographic is, and you just excel there. Yeah. I think sometimes you can or a lot of times you can just play yourself or lay things out like a little too thin. And, if you're on TikTok, or if you're on Twitter, or if you're on Instagram, or if you're on Clubhouse, it's sort of, there's a little bit of repetitiveness, but then there's also that level of just fatigue. Like how can I be on all of these things? It is a lot. Can I even put as much value into all of them versus if I just focused on one and put all in there? So yeah, you touched upon an incredible point. And just anyone who's listening, you don't need to be everywhere. Pick somewhere that you'll get a feel for where you're finding your demographic, and really excel in that area for sure. Really like double down and put all of your attention in that area.
Totally. Consistency is king.
Yes.
Consistency is king. Consistency is king. And you really get breakthrough when you're consistent too. So like a big breakthrough, like say on social media, or like a big, wow, this is like out of control. This post is getting so much engagement. It's because of consistency. It's just, you got to show up every day, just like you're training and training people every day. Like you can't just be like, tomorrow we're not going to run our 6 a.m. class because I want to sleep in. It's like, no, there's 20 people like ready to work out. Like you got to be consistent. So the breakthrough comes from consistency.
Yeah. And there's definitely a difference between like quantity versus quality. You don't like need to be posting every single day. If you do, that's great if you're bringing that element of consistency in that way. But consistency can also look like twice a week, or, once every 2 weeks. Like as long as you're not keeping your audience guessing, and there's that sort of expectation that, okay, I know that Resilience posts on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I know you guys post more than that, but just speaking from an example, you're totally right. Consistency, whether you see it as once a week or every single day for that week, I think multiple times a day can be, can be a little much, but if you're putting out the quality, then, who am I really to say? And you guys are like putting in all of this effort into production. So I'm sure I just love the way that your videos look. They're just they're fun, they're professional, they're just like really clear and crisp. So whoever you're working with, has he been working in production? He or she been working in production for a while?
Yeah. So he's really talented in this sort of arena. He has been working in production for probably like Josh, 5 years. So something like that. So he's actually one of my friends from the church that I go to, and he kind of works the sound at the church, but he also does like a side business as well, all kinds of stuff. And super talented, multifaceted, like cameras, sound, marketing, like just really talented guy. So yeah, he's been in it for a bit.
And he's been giving you guys, you were mentioning he's been giving you guys like tips and tricks on how to sort of present your videos, or ways in which it should sort of come across on Instagram.
Yeah, he's got quite the creativity and brain. Like he's a smart guy, and just hanging out with us, he's like, have you guys thought of this? Have you thought of this? Yeah. So again, great relationship, the willingness to listen, and the willingness to be able to try and be like, wow, that's a great idea. So
and ask questions and try to understand. We haven't been working with him too long. We've known him for a little bit. Andrew's known him for a little longer than I have. But the willingness to ask questions to understand our business, like is important. So asking questions, trying to understand everything, understand like how things work, how we're thinking, and that allows, I think, him to like kind of create his ideas, right?
Yeah.
If you don't ask questions, like it's just tougher to formulate new ideas. So he asked a lot of questions. He's been asking a lot of questions, and then he's been coming up with like some cool ideas, which has been great.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, a good team is invaluable. And especially, like you said, Josh, people who are actually authentically interested in your business and wanting to better it is you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, we're going to finish off. The time went just by super, super fast.
I know, right? What?
I know.
Wow. Wow, it did. It really did.
I know. So I'm going to get into some lightning round questions. Try to keep the answers to maximum a sentence or so. If we go a little longer than that, it's totally okay. But I'll start off with the first question. If you want to take turns answering, totally good. So what are 2 qualities that you think make someone a good business owner?
Creativity and willingness.
Josh?
I was going to say create like kind of a dreamer attitude, like kind of like a big vision, and creativity was going to be a huge one for me. Willingness is a great answer too.
Awesome.
You got to take action. So that's huge.
Yeah. It says a lot about your team in general if you guys are both thinking like the same qualities. So that's great. If you weren't owners of Resilience, what do you think you'd be doing?
Ooh, I'd probably be teaching, probably.
Like school, like traditional classroom teaching?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably just be like either a nomad with my wife or like going all around the world or owning a farm and just raising a bunch of kids and just being on a farm with a bunch of farm animals. That's something Kara and I always talk about. So my wife. And so I'd probably be a chicken raiser, raising chickens.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Seriously, for real. In Montana.
Yeah. Okay. We've got the specific place too. Ready to go.
We thought about it. We thought about it.
All right. Last but not least, and this may take a little extra than more than a sentence. Share a pivotal moment of when you realized helping people was your path. Like, what was your aha moment where you're like, I'm meant to help people?
And there's been a bunch of them in Resilience Asia.
I've just seen a lot of people like change their whole way of health, and seeing how passionate they are about how much we've changed their approach to their health and how much healthier they've got. And it's just, that's always amazing to hear. I've worked a lot of jobs in my life and I haven't found a lot of satisfaction in a lot of the jobs, which has been tough, right? Like when you don't feel satisfaction in a job, it's like, it's just always a drain to go to.
Yeah. It's so super daunting and just tedious and miserable.
Yeah. So seeing people like just totally change your life obviously is like a huge, like, bam, like, yo, we're doing something really cool. And then a selfish reason for me, a selfish reason for myself is like, I've seen that for me, being an entrepreneur has really made me like step out of my comfort zone and grow as a person for sure.
I totally agree.
I don't think I would be where I am today if I was working like a job, like I was, like just for me personally, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these jobs, but for me personally, like anytime I was working like a job before, and I think I would change my mindset now that I've been through a lot with Resilience, but I was always like, I couldn't wait to go home and go to the gym and stuff like that. I was just like, I wasn't super into it. So like, I knew I wasn't growing as a person. So selfishly, that's my answer. But seeing people help and change their health has been like amazing.
Hey bro, I thought this was rapid round.
That's okay.
You said it was going to take a little longer.
I know, it might take a little longer. That's okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
Okay, Andrew, you're joking.
Up. For me, it was the moment when it's kind of a reoccurring moment when I see families feeling comfortable in our setting. So moms and dads bringing their kids and kind of allowing them to sit at the side to watch like mommy and daddy work out, or
Yeah.
just hearing them talk to their kids about their gym, or the kids being like, is there going to be a kids program? I think one of the most powerful things in this world is family units. So if we can cultivate more of that and like a comfortability and a confidence to bring your family around, I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Being able to touch, like just to really touch the minds of each and every individual in a family,
Yeah.
especially kids,
Yeah.
especially at this time. I mean, Andrew, you know better, you're raising a toddler right now, and in a world that has changed really quickly, and instilling those family values and really, honing in on what you teach them at home, I think is super crucial, because they go out into this world that again is ever evolving, ever changing, and to sort of like come home to that stability, or our core values is important, and I think makes a kid, just personally speaking from my childhood, I mean, makes you feel a little bit more at ease. Knowing that, for example, when I get home, I'm going to watch mom and dad, or I'm going to play with mom and dad, or we're going to work out together.
Yeah.
Just having that sort of consistency of healthy decisions for the family as well as everybody involved.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight.
No
But
worries.
before we sign off, where can everybody find you guys?
Yeah, our main kind of hub is Instagram. So at resilience_fitness is the best way to really follow our journey. We're very up to the date with our posting. We're live with our stories. And then our website is resiliencefitness.ca. And we really explain our vision and what we're about there. So yeah, I would love for you guys to check us out.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. Again, the energy in this episode is just matched to the energy that I share with you guys in person. So thank you for bringing everything and laying everything out on the table, telling me all about how you guys started Resilience and where it's going, and the fact that you guys are just killing it on social media. So thank you for being an inspiration, and I can't wait. I'm so excited to see where you guys go from here.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
No
We
problem,
love what
guys.
you're doing too.
Thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye, Britt.
Bye.
See ya.